Hey, so I was recording a video for the channel and I had an issue. It stopped recording. So what happened was, and I'm gonna show you. You know, I'm not promoting Wise 365, but I don't. I used to beta test for them, but I still use the program. You can get it in free, and don't let the mist tell you that others tell you that you don't need a program like this. Is because this is a much powerful program than the others. Even though they give it for free, the free, you wouldn't have the Wise protection. There's some features that don't work, but the PC checkup, you get that. You get the system clean. You get everything that they offer for free. Uh, what is a big help for me is big files on all my. I get two drives in there. I do have a hard drive in this. It's not the main drive. Like I should use it for a backup. So, so these two drives are SSDs. So what happens is the slave drive J um, has ran out of space. It was completely full, so that caused things to crash. So now I'm saying to myself, okay, we don't need these large files. Except for Star Trek Online, we need that. Star Trek Online, we need that. Projects that I built, go like videos. If I haven't, the rule of thumb is if you haven't accessed the file within a year, last access. See, this is what's telling you. This I would leave. This is required for. But I do have a game installed. Is that when you're installing a game, you would install it on another drive. You don't install it on the same drive unless you didn't have a second drive. You would. The premise is the game would run faster. That way, the first hard drive, the main hard drive with the Windows operating system on it, would run faster. Would work faster, even though it's an SSD. Okay, so a lot of people would install it you install your games, well, whatever games you play, you would install it on the second drive, the slave drive. So I can knock out those two files. Can't touch that. That would free up 12 gig. Oh, a little over that. That would free up about 13 gig. So I'm just showing you what happens when you do that. So let's delete that. Do not. If you do not want to delete the files, it's one-way process without a backup. Can't do it. Okay, those two files are gone. Okay, so let's untoggle that. And scan again for just J. One big file taking up 195 gig of space. Really? Oh, big file. Oh, that's what it totals. Okay. Some of these are videos that I have for the other channels I run. A lot of the stuff can be gone. Don't need to keep all this stuff. So I did that and I was able to record. I was recording a video for the channel. Only part of it record. I think a huge chunk. Wow. Also, so if you got large files on your drive, you might want to give this a chance. I believe this is free under the free version, because I know that under the pro version, you don't get this. I believe this is removing cookies and stuff like that that it shouldn't be. That's what that does. You don't get that. You get password generator. You don't get site notification. You get privacy eraser. You get system optimize this registry defrag. You get that system clean. Don't know if they're giving you that though. That's the thing. I don't know. Now, some say that Windows 11 can do all this. Well, but it would do it slow. Well, yeah, this has been around a long time. This company's been around. They did take my advice because I was comparing this with what was it called, Jet Clean and a couple of there was some guy wrote a code for Windows Tune. It was a small. Some people believe it had malware in it. Well, I don't know. But what that did, it had a big speedometer, and you would run it. It would speed up the system. But the author stopped making it, so I wouldn't recommend installing it. Well, you really didn't have to install it. You just run it, and it would do its thing. Now, Jet Clean, they stopped making it. Well, it doesn't work with the current Windows. If you run it, it's going to cause some MCF file issue. You gotta be careful. So this company did listen to me and it did speed up the thing. How does this compare to Cortex? Well, Cortex, even though Cortex is free for gaming, that's more for gaming. I mean, this has gaming cleanup. Cortex more defrags the drive or cleans up the games on your computer. So if you got World of Tank Blitz, Star Trek Online, it can clean up the fragments and remove files that don't need it and speed up the game. But Cortex on your system can hold your system. So you really can't automatically load. Now this one does the same thing too. It will automatically load on your system. I'd like these things running in the background. If you had WiseCare protection on, then WiseCare is, think of this like an extra security. But that's what it's for. And this is also a hub to just you can launch everything they got. Like you can launch Game Booster in here. See, it's faster instead of clicking on it. It's separate modules, not integrated. But I can't run this. I can't optimize this to show you what it does while we're running the recorder. Otherwise, it'll shut off the recorder. Let's see. Now this will speed up the system. Optimizes the LAN. System scalability. I'm telling you right now, Windows will not optimize your RAM. You have to run third party. Besides this program, it's TCP Optimizer. And TCP Optimizer will speed up your system by shutting down stuff. Now I wrote a script that you didn't need TCP Optimizer. And if you run the script, it'll do the same thing. But the script is obsolete. The script was designed for Windows 7, 10, 11. Microsoft still disables some stuff. You still have to go in there, and you have to really go. You need Windows Pro. If you have Windows Pro, you can go into Group Policies, and you can change the way the system loads. Now, if you have Windows 11 Home, you can do the same thing, but it's a little complicated process. You have to go in the registry and find the right key and disable that and change the setting so you have full bandwidth. So they take 20% of your bandwidth. But you don't want to do that. They say, gee, 20% of the bandwidth. Why? Yeah. See, the premise with internet speed in the home, now for instance, if you got, okay, say you got Comcast, and you're paying for 1.2 gig or higher. Can your modem, can your router, can your switch support all those speeds? So say you had a 10, 100, 1000 gig. So 1000 is one, it's a thousand. A 10 megabyte is really 6 megabytes. 100 megabytes is really 60 megabytes. And 1000 gig, gigabyte, it's really 600. That's as high as it goes, but that's the way they set it up. The same thing if you had what's the next one? It's 10 gig, 10,000, 10, yeah, 10 gig, yeah. Because after the one, 10 gig. So the 10 gig is really 7 gig. So if you're working in a domain or a farm, a domain, like in a company, when I used to do those projects and I was in charge of their infrastructure for updating the switches for the Cisco. Back then, I was always like, gee, wow, 10 gig. 10 gig switch, but the 10 gig switch can only do 7 gig. So that's legacy. That's what it can do. It cannot do 10 gig. Now, as they go up higher, like that. But I'm just saying. So most homes, you only got a gig router, okay? But you're paying for 1.2. 1.2 equivalent is equivalent to 700 megabytes. So, but but the thing is, everybody, even the fiber system too. The fiber system is supposed to give you, if you're getting 300 down, you're supposed to get 300 up. Okay, are they getting it? Well, if everything goes well, because the fiber system is a very complex system compared to a cable modem. I mean, they're using the same kind of equipment, but it's just fiber and this little side. But they are hooked up into an OT. It's like what's that? It's a network box. I think it's either an ONT or OPT. I can't remember which one it is. It's been a long time. I used to do technical support. People would call me and I would have to fix the system. That box had a problem. If the fuse goes, boom, it stops working. If the battery backup goes, you have problems. So the battery, you have to keep on installing a new battery. It's called a BU, battery backup. Yeah, battery backup unit. And so so the BBU, battery backup unit. Yeah. So the battery backup unit is needed because it has to save your settings in there. Then the ONTs. So people don't have a basement. They don't have a place to attach it, so they would put it in the attic, which it would be very hard to get to. It should be on the side of your house. Sometimes it's inside your house. It depends where they put the box. Now that's how Verizon set that up. When AT&T took over and came up with their proprietary system, it was slow because they didn't use the same kind of system. It was different from Verizon. So when it came to stuff like that, so now AT&T put fiber down all over the place. They did it here. I think my neighbor has it. It's a line out there. I don't know. Now they claim faster speeds, but you have to go. There's a site called DSL Reports, which basically was a site where everywhere would share information. Are you really getting the true speed you are? Now, my router tells me when I do a speed test, how fast is my internet? Am I getting 1.2, which is really 700 gig, or am I getting 600? I'm not. Sometimes I do see 600 megabytes. That's what's equivalent to 1 gig. I can't get 1.2. To get 1.2, you need their router. To get their modem and router all in one system and Wi-Fi in there too, you got to pay a monthly service fee. You're renting it for the rest of your life. And then, of course, they'll give you new equipment, but they're going to give you factory service. A bad one, they'll fix it and they'll set it and make it look like new, and they'll give it to you in your house unless it's really, really brand new. And those tend to overheat. The one that handles the phone, the digital phone, the one that handles the TV system, it's like an all-in-one system that it sits in the house, and that it can get too hot and fail. And the problem is they need a fan, but they don't want to they don't want fans will make noise, so they figure, hey, we'll just put a large heat sink and call it a day, but it still get hot. So you can use a cooling, um, you can use a laptop cooling fan, and like with four fans, high speed fans running at 1200 RPM, and you run that all the time. So that would how that would work. Well, you could have it set up so every time you turn on, well, they're all in one box. It would always be on, so the fan would be speeding, cooling it. You have to cool it. If you don't cool it, you're gonna find crazy results. Now, I was cooling my modem since the cable modem was always getting hot. It should be cool. You have better results if it's cool. Plus, it lasts longer. It Because if you go to your cable modem now, if you have a cable modem or wherever box you got all in one box, get yourself an air conditioning uh, temperature scan. It's like an infrared scan. You can get them off Amazon. They're pretty cheap, or eBay, wherever you want to use. I'm not promoting Amazon. I'm just telling you we get them. And you aim it at it. It'll tell you the temperature. So just like a computer, your temperature of your computer is. The cooler it is. That's why you got to use copper, copper heating, liquid cool, all kind of gizmos to keep the processor cool. Thus, it'll last longer and it'll operate faster. You don't have to worry about overheating because the thermal shutdown, especially on a laptop, as we all know, that's when it gets hot and it gets really hot. Sometimes it gets hot no matter what. But cooling it down will help. Unless you take the whole laptop apart and check the heatsink and go in there and see that the silver oxide paste has dried up and stopped working. Because those do dry up no matter what. But anyway, getting off the subject here. That's why you would use something like this to speed up the computer. It's not you have to do each computer. But technically speaking, if you want to see real fast internet speeds, you need to go to the source. You need to cool the router. If you have a separate router, you have to cool your equipment. It should be cool. That's why all network in a business is kept in a refrigerated environment, because they want it to run fast. They don't want it to overheat. Even though it has fans, it's still cold in the network room, which is could be a huge, massive farm of different switches, backup devices, a lot of fiber optics, um, like that. See, and today they're using a special fiber optic cable to run your net in the network, and it's supposed to be fast. I have an option to do that on my switch. It's costly. So yeah, I built the same kind of business switch system with a business router, business switch, and a rack mounted switch. Those last a long time, much faster than any cheap plastic switch they have today. But a lot of people have the mesh system, which is all Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi, don't get me wrong, Wi-Fi is pretty fast, and let me close this out. By the way, what you saw in Game Booster is actually built into this too. I just want to make sure. See, it's right here, optimizer. But it won't be able to remove. It won't be able to defrag the RAM, and that's what Game Booster does. It frees up RAM. They never built it in. This company, what they do is, I don't know if I have it in here. It might be out of date. The version available. You won't see it have another screen. See, it calls up Explorer. Whatever it's called here. Oh, Edge. What's new in 4.18? Set free memory as required. Fix an issue. Resulted in auto optimizer. Did not disappear. Okay, I can show you. Let me see. I don't even know which icon is highlighted. Right. See, this uses Microsoft Edge. I need to fix that. Open. Yeah, so this is it here. I know what program they're using to make this interface. You can do all this yourself if you're a programmer, or you want to make small programs. You can have them installed. Well, they offer that free. This is memory. See, it cleans the clipboard out while optimizer. Microsoft don't do that. So when you copy and paste, 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 the clipboard fills up. The system runs slower. Blah, blah, blah. I can't run this now because we are available 17. Should be more than that. Oh, that's the sign. It was 32, but I had a bad stick and removed the stick. The company said it would give me a brand new stick. And if I send it back, they would test it out. I never did get a chance to send it back to them. Oh, because everything you have to pay for to send back is not free. I was going to buy 2 new sticks. They were cheap at the time. You can't buy one, you have to buy two. So, and that would speed up. I would get an extra 8 gig. Speed up to make it 32 gig. Okay, so, but that's all right now. It's been better. Um, well, this is with the recording running, which uses a lot of RAM. Um, then you have this app open up. You got the browser open up. Too. I'll close that out. It's not bad for a free little program. Now they offer that for free, and then that's what you can do. You can run that. You can run this. Is a little bit more in depth than this. This handles memory. This handles the system, which is not bad. Uh, I think I have this installed. Not too sure. Now you say, gee, why would you need such a program like this? Won't Windows do it? Well, yeah, but it can't. Say it can't install a program that's hard to install. Yeah, hard to uninstall. Sorry, yeah, it's been a long day. So that's what you would do. These are all free. They give you free stuff, so it's not all about. You don't need to launch that. That's this. You see this? These two programs are very good, but now I believe if you got the older versions, you don't have. They don't. You can use a lot of features. These are for backing up and restoring your hard drive when your computer shut down and stuff like that. That comes in handy. Those are very important things. Yeah. I think we'll talk about that in another video. But right now, See, they offer a lot of stuff. System sewing, electric cleaning, not bad. The thing with this is, a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't need it." I've been using it for years. I've been using it since, well, for quite some time. I used to use something else, um, but you got to keep the machine maintained, and this does free up the stuff, and it does work. And if you don't get the pro, you get the free. Play with the free, see what it does. Um, you could block the ads and stuff. There's a way of doing it. You have to use the firewall and get in there. And you have to know what you're doing too. Yeah, in and out. But the thing is, um, it does work. It does clean. It does work, and it's really very it back. It creates a system restore backup. So Microsoft turns off system restore by default. Uh, Microsoft can remove the backup files and folders. And that's true. It can. It'll take longer. Uh, it depends what you want to do. But like I said, you can try both. See which one works for you. Oh, I'm just showing you this because my goal is to free up this the J drive. Okay, let me turn that off. See, the whole thing is you want to speed up your machine. Oh, I don't want this thing running. This is for gaming. Steam. With Steam, you could run well, you can't run Star Trek Online. You need to use Epic. I think it can't. Yeah, yeah. And Epic, there's some. Let's see, World Tank looks. You can run it that on there too. But like I said, to run a good system, you have to clean up, make sure the there's no files you're not using anymore, any gigabyte files or anything large, because the gigs will start to eat up memory. If you only had a 256 gig drive, which is like 200, it depends on the drive. It might be close to 253, might be 242. It depends on the space. Those things can fill up quick. The SSD, they can fill up very quickly. So check on your files. You don't need anything. Destroy it. Permanently destroy it. Just don't send it to the recycling bin. And then this program will clean it up. So Windows will also do cleanups too. This is a little slowly. Remember, it's a lot of overlay in Windows 11 and Windows 10 and 7 and beyond that because everything was built on top of DOS, where they didn't just do like the other companies do. This when you boot up the machine, it goes right into the operating system. So like Apple. Apple's a different kind of ecosystem. Android, same thing too. Different. Linux, you know. But when it comes to Windows, it's a different ballgame. Okay, that's about it. So you learn about hard drive space. You learn about optimizing your network, and you learn about cooling your gear in your house. And which is faster, fiber or cable? Since we don't have, there's no more DSL, so there's no third wheel. Dial-up is gone as well. Um, and well, fiber is quick, but it requires additional hardware. If that hardware breaks down, you're screwed. Cable or broadband, it could be fast if they install the new higher bandwidth cable, and you're not using legacy cable in your dwelling. Now, I had it when I came back to this house. I had them remove all the old cat um, coaxial. It's what's it again? Oh God, I can't remember. It was 59. RG59, something like that, or something like that. That's too thin of a cable that can't handle high speeds. You really can't handle much 4K TV. Uh, and you want to get rid of that to the new 6 or RJ6 is called again. I can't think. It was like 3,000. Let's see again. 3,000 hertz. I think something over 2,000 hertz. Because satellite TV, they use a different kind of coaxial. It's thicker, ultra coaxial. They're using that now in the home. So they came up with the company come out here and replace all the wires. I don't think they did a clean job because up in the up if I go on the roof on the attic, well, sorry, not the roof, on the side of the well, I have a patio in the back, so it took the guy the whole day to do it. But he did is ripped everything out. But he did some things I didn't like what he did. He cut the cable too short, and he should have run a direct lead and not put a splice in the system. Because the splice can degrade your system. Why? Of course, I have the coaxial. I did buy it. I have a big box, and I can do my own. That's what I did. That's how I did here. I don't have cable TV. I got rid of that. We have internet TV. That's all I have with it was internet. And I rewired the wires. Yeah. I went inside the box and took the wires out, and I rewired my whole house because I have dual antenna. I have my antenna pointing south, and I get the south TV networks, and another county. Here it's called county. Where you live, it's called provinces, areas, all kind of names. So that's it. So basically, both antennas I get 80-mile radius. So I get two different. I actually get 1, 2, 3 counties with the way I have it set up. So that's pretty big. I get 2 in the south, 1 up in the north, which is here, and so we got more channels. And now, yeah, look, that's over the air, OTA, over the air television. They took UHF and VHS and they combined into one. So you get 1080i, you get Dolby Digital sound. It's 5.1. Now, they were working on, before the pandemic, they were working on giving you true HD, which is 7.1. They were giving you 4K broadcasting. I don't know what happened with that. I need to look into that. But a lot of the 4K TVs they're selling today can't support that. And you have to have a separate tuner. See that? See what they did? So to make sure that your tuner can handle over the air 4K. Now it can handle 4K over the internet, Blu-ray disc player, PlayStation or Xbox, whatever ones can handle 4K consoles. It can handle anything that you plug into the back, even like a digital camera, video camera, even these like the ON streaming box, Fire Stick. I don't know if they fixed the problem with 4K. That was my beef. It kept on saying I didn't have enough bandwidth. I have enough bandwidth. Gee, they want you to use their own ecosystem TV system and stuff like that to get around there. Because when I got the ON from Walmart for Android TV features, every TV had 4K. Even a TV in the kitchen that wasn't supposed to be 4K is coming up 4K and runs things in 4K on YouTube. I should show you that. But yeah, maybe that. It's kind of weird. It wasn't developed for 4K, but it's showing 4K. There's no slowness, no degradation. Like my CPU on this computer it says that I can do 4K, but when I do it, it's slow because the chip inside on the GPU side wasn't designed. Unless maybe if I can overclock it. Maybe it could. I don't know. Something to think about. But you got to have a monitor that supports it too. Hey, I gotta go. Support the channel by subscribing, and that's all I ask. And you get more information like this. My videos are very informational. It's not just one subject, you know. I know I should make it easier, but hey, that's me. Your lead tech. Okay, I'm out of here.